Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Tyranny with me, Bring It On. So I did look up why I couldn't put an artifact into the altar and spare the burning library. Turns out that if you're in the disfavored path, you can't spare the library, but I think any other path allows for it. Super lame, but it does coincide with the disfavored's like scorched earth policy that they have going on. Anyway, let's talk to these disfavored. Jelena, what am I to do with you? Not only did you sell us out to the Scarlet Course, but use your oath-bound connection against us. In all the history of the disfavored, I never heard of a more despicable crime. Not even the Scarlet Furies would commit such an atrocity. At the very least, we wouldn't drag the matter out in the open like this. Merrick, they were torturing me. I had no choice. You could have endured by drawing strength from our bond. We would have found you eventually. Merrick massages his brow. Fatebinder, I'm grateful that you returned my unit, but I have another problem. Jelena. While I'm sympathetic to the fact that she suffered at the hands of the Course, I can't pretend that she didn't betray us. Neither can the rest of my scouts. You have a way with justice and law. Would you mind adjudicating the matter? I'm too knotted up over it to make a clear-headed ruling. I would like to hear what Jelena has to say. Thank you for the opportunity, Fatebinder. I knew that I could endure the Course interrogation forever. No one short of Ashe has the fortitude for it. You're hardly qualified to judge. Let her talk. I made as if to break under the pressure, and surrendered the location of two scouts. They're both cut off from the rest, and the location would have given anyone away. Even so, I was saving my strength to send a warning that would alert the rest of you about the Course movements, even to those I betrayed. I don't say that to excuse my actions, just to offer some context. The fallen scouts may haunt me for the rest of my days, but Merrick and the others may live richer, fuller lives on their behalf. Merrick, does this change anything for you? I must admit that I had not considered this interpretation of events. He pauses. Jelena caused the deaths of some, only for the sake of sparing others. When you frame it that way, she did indeed rely on the strength of her brethren, and there is no action more disfavored than that. Fateminder, I retract my request for a ruling. No judgment is necessary. Jelena is free and welcome to rejoin her unit. Jelena, pack your things and get ready to move out. Thank you, Merrick. And you too, Fatebinder. I vow to strengthen the disfavored through loyalty and deed. Alright, is that it? I've been given a second chance thanks to you. I'm in your debt. Thank you for your assistance. I can finish anything else in the library that requires the disfavored's attention while you return to Graven... Alright, we've already read that. Last time. Lupin. A young man in singed and tattered clothes notices your approach and salutes with a strange gesture. No, that's not it, is it? He drops his arm to his side in defeat. I apologize, Fatebinder. I'm fairly new to all of this. He attempts to mask the sudden crack in his voice by clearing his throat. I've been dispatched from Iron Hearth to act as a quartermaster here at... He looks around at the state of the scorched earth all around him. Whatever this place is. Teach him the proper disfavored salute. You take his arm and hand in yours, pressing his fist tightly together and thrusting it towards his chest. He lets out a sudden gasp of air before collecting himself. I see. Thank you, Fatebinder. How did you come into Ashe's service? His face droops downward. Where I come from in the north, we don't have much. My brother sent for me to join him at Iron Hearth, serve the soldiers there, and earn a wage of some kind. His eyes begin to waver to a crestfallen cascade toward a gaze that rests at his feet. By the time I arrived, he'd been sent off to serve at the garrison at Vengerance's Well Citadel. I'm sure you're well aware of what happened there. Well, let me see your wares. Well, the full Oathbound set. Not that I care for, it's light armor. It's almost good. Except for the minus 10 to accuracy, which I don't care for. Yeah, nothing great there. Alright. Let's head to the spires, do some housekeeping, and then go report to Graven Ashe. What do we have here? This is for the, yeah, Staff of Hours. Also, looks like all of our companions have something to say, so we'll go to the spire and speak to everybody. in one fell swoop. I don't know which one is faster. In fact, I probably don't want to go the faster route. So I want that robe to finish. What do we have? Bronze Javelin, Iron War Mace, and some mead. I really wish... There we go. It would just take it from the smaller stack. Alright, let's get rid of some of this stuff. Yeah, don't need Crashing Thunder or Cinder Ward. Alright, we're very comfortable financially. Alright, let's go back to the Ocean Spire. I should have just skipped past it. Alright, 2 scrolls and... I've got a lot. Let's research the Silent Archive. Only takes 2 scrolls. Alright, yeah. Sounds good to me. Into the Sunset Spire, we'll grab our... Hopefully grab a robe. It's not done yet. How much longer does it have?
Right.
Alright. Can I rest at this one? I cannot. Let's go rest at the other one. That'll kill a little more time. We'll speak to our companions, and then we have everything we need for the that artifact weapon. The two-handed one for my main character. Is that what I wanted to do? I don't think 8 hours is going to put much of a dent in this. Hopefully going to and from Iron Hearth to speak to Graven Ashe will kill enough time. Alright, let's speak to our companions. I'll start with the ones that aren't in my party. Siren.
Good day, Fatebinder. It's always nice to see you.
Siren smiles and blushes at her words.
What do you need?
I guess nothing. Ebb?
That's twice now you've undone one of Kyros' edicts. If you're trying to invite the wrath of the Overlord, good job?
I do really like the headgear that she has on. It matches her aesthetic.
The sages have their share of enemies, and there are some that may have thought the Edict of Fire a suitable fate. Regardless of what the sages do or don't deserve, the knowledge in the Vellum Citadel belongs to all of us. And Kyros' destruction of that knowledge is what really tangles my line. Breaking the Edict of Fire is a signal to Tyranny. The Overlord can be defied. The punishments can be overturned. More specifically, you are the one who can undo the Overlord's whims.
Ebb points at you with her staff. So, she said that's the second edict we've broken. This is the third edict. Because we did the Edict of Storms, the Edict of Fire, and the Edict of Endrian's Well. So I don't think she knows how to count.
What is it you need?
Alright, Kills in Shadow watches you, unblinking, black pupils dilating wide across her crimson eyes. She parts her lips as she scents the air.
Alpha smells good. Makes Beast Woman want to hunt. Kill. Fate Binder wants Beast Woman?
No, I've read all that. Alright, let's speak to Barrick first.
It is rare enough that anyone has the opportunity to proclaim an edict, much less break one. How are you holding up, Fatebinder?
To be honest, my head hurts.
That is to be expected. I am no expert in arcane matters, but I understand that the will and commitment needed to shatter Kyros' magic are not resources in abundance. Take care that you don't exhaust yourself and become worthless to the war effort.
Barrick looks you up and down with appraisal, keeping any conclusions to himself.
What can I do for you?
Alright, verse. You carved out a real knack for yourself by breaking the Overlord's edicts left and right. Whatever Tunon is paying you for your services, I'd say you're due for a raise. How does it feel? Not only to have you given voice to the Overlord's will, but you're breaking Kyros' magic left and right. I'm only serving the interests of the mission. Sticking to your priorities is a good way to stay alive, but I wonder if you should be more reckless. I never got anywhere by playing it safe. I'm here if you need me. I don't have a mind for arcane wisdom. I'll do whatever I can to get our little gang through this war, and if it ever looks like your strength is flagging, I'll put you out of your misery and take control. Cheer up.
What do you need?
Just that little pep talk. Thank you, Verse.
That's twice now. By Kyros' icy nethers, twice! Edicts have been broken before, but never in all my many years have I heard of one person doing it twice.
Okay. You need to give me some more credit. This is the third edict that I've broken. Well, anybody can do it. Just think about the wording of the edict. You'll find Kyros has left options.
That's like saying winning a war is as simple as raising a giant army and making all the right maneuvers. Knowing what must be done and actually doing it, well, that's the dividing line between being a legend and being forgotten.
Alright, well,
On it.
let's go speak to Graven Ashe at Iron Hearth. Where I expect a big old pat on the back. Hey, hold on. Let's go to grab our robes real fast. Lantry, we got you a present, buddy. We finally got you some clothes. So we're running around in his underwear for a little while now. I'm still not entirely sure if that affliction effect is for him or for the people that he casts his spells on. I'm assuming it's for him. So I think... Well, see, I don't know. It would make sense because it's just underwear. It's like, you know, you'd be more prone to afflictions. But I just don't know. By the way, we got him an upgrade, and we can start our next project. The two-handed axe. A little pricey in resources. 12. Well, we have plenty of iron ingots, never mind. Let's get started. Then actually, while I'm here, let's go and forge some stuff. Well, first let's equip these on Lantry. They look good too. Might look better a different color. I liked him in his purple when we found him. Yeah, I like the purple and green that he's got going on. Very Very sage-like. Alright, so where's he at? Alright, so that's a masterwork now, and then I need to upgrade this a couple times. Oh, I'm missing some hide. Almost there. I only gets upgraded one more time. Let's swing by Rebos and see if he has more hide for us real fast. I want all of my artifacts maxed out, except for maybe Penumbra, because I'm probably not going to use it. I could give it to Verse because it's a one-handed weapon. In fact, I might just do that. I know I thought about it before, but I never followed through with it. Let's see.
Hey, this looks fun.
Yeah, this is greater damage. It's not even maxed out, so yeah, we'll do this instead. Just to have another artifact on her. I just want to max out the artifacts. You have as many equipped as I can. So we're going to upgrade that while we're here as well. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, what does this effect do? Their own darkness weakening them to the sword's ephemeral edge. So they take increased damage from this weapon. And on crit, it has a little AoE damage. And plus 10 parry for each engaging enemy. Which is arguably better for Barrick. I think just the theme of Dauntless is better for Barrick. Even though I think the effect... The Penumbra's effect would be better on Barrick. So this is a suboptimal decision, but just based on how they look. And their names. I think Penumbra is just a more fitting name for Verse, where, you know, Dauntless just sounds like a Barrick weapon. Yeah, so suboptimal, but we'll make it work. Not going to upgrade that because it's not an artifact, and... Still missing. How much do I need 2 more hide. Alright, we'll get there. In fact, after speaking to Graven Ashe, we'll probably get enough experience and kill enough time. So you see Karalek, the merchant from the Bastard's Wound, ahead of you. He stands in the middle of the road, looking rather dazed. His head turns toward you as you approach, but he seems to look through rather than at you. Shop? Goods? Wise choice, he nods, head bobbing bird-like. Wise choice. And this hood again. I still haven't used the effect on that. I need to remember to do that. I mean, the old water's pretty good. And we have the money to spare. I may as well pick it up, right? Whoops. I am a little tempted to put Penumbra back on Barrick and give Dauntless to Verse, but the themes of the weapon just, it matches the characters better this way. And Barrick doesn't really need more parry. And what's he sitting at? 161? She could use a little more. Plus the AoE stun on Dauntless I think makes more sense on Barrick as well. How many artifacts have we found? Let me check that real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Pretty good. Pretty good indeed. What's up, Grandpappy? Disturbing news arrived at Iron Hearth regarding your conduct in the Burning Library. I'll let your report speak for itself, but let it be known that I have misgivings. Ashe worries at the ends of his beard and looks to you with an air of expectation. First things first, the Edict of Fire. Is it truly over then? What is left of the library burns no more. That is a great relief. Seldom is an edict meant to last for long, and the implications of the Edict of Fire have always troubled me. I have stayed up nights wondering if the flames of Kyros' wrath might spread out from the library and consume the whole of the tiers. But that is ridiculous. The Overlord would never allow such a fate to befall us. Thank you for putting an old man's fears to rest. My efforts at the burning library were successful. Then the Scarlet Chorus have been ousted from the contested lands, the forbidden knowledge wrenched from their grasp. Tell me more. America's well and in the contested lands. Good. He can help maintain the peace and ensure that the wisdom of the sages falls into no undeserving hands. Have you anything else to report? I killed the censor and her gang. The Tears will not miss another louse or her brood of vermin, and neither will I. Good work. Have you anything else to report? I have the Silent Archive. You, Fatebinder, I task you with keeping the archive away from prying eyes, not claiming it yourself. Surely you can't help but recognize this as a breach of Kyros' law. Yeah, I need the knowledge of the archive in order to conduct this war. Forbidden knowledge that Kyros decreed no one should have the freedom to access. I think not, Fatebinder. You do just as well with the honest combat and good sense on your side. Well, that's all. What are our next steps? Our advantage against our enemies grows, and we cannot miss an opportunity to strike a decisive victory against the Archon of Secrets. You've been an asset of unsurpassed value, but there is more still to be done. Now that we have 2 regions under our control, this favorite's presence is felt almost throughout all of the tiers. This is as strong as we've ever been. Ashe gives you a determined nod, but there's something behind it that takes you by surprise. Then you notice that he's gone pale, his eyes unfocused. The Archon shakes his head and collects himself. When he shifts his attention to you, you catch a momentary confusion reflected in his gaze, as if he's trying to account for the last several seconds. I saw that look plenty of times on the family farm, and it's never a good sign. Someone is getting ready to be put out to pasture. General, we'll wait your orders at your leisure. Barrick tips his head at the Archon with concern. The time has come for us to gather and descend upon the Stone Sea, where the voices of Nerat and his gangs have dug their miserable warren. Once we've dealt with the Archon, I plan to melt down his twisted helmet and drop it into the deepest ocean. First we have to secure a base in the region. That will give us a position of strength to rally our fighters and take the war to the Archon doorstep. Are you ready? You look pale, Ashe. Anything I can do to assist? If I look weary, it's because that darnable Archon of Secrets has vexed me for far too long. We're better rid of him, and I won't have you wasting time on issues that don't concern you. He takes several deep breaths and regards you with an intensity you haven't seen before. Well, I'm ready. Where do I start? I sent an advanced unit of disfavored forces into the Stone Sea, but the Scarlet Corps' presence in the region has them threatened in the location called Howling Rock. I dispatched a support unit to assist, which you can find at Jagged Moss Shrine. They'll need your help clearing a path to Howling Rock. What can I expect to find there? Since the region of Azure fell to ruin, the population of wild beastmen has expanded significantly. No doubt the Scarlet Corps have used this to their advantage, and seek to conscript as many of the brutes into their mob as possible. The city of Halfgate is their last bastion of stability, though of course it's held by the Scarlet Corps now. Why does the support unit need my help? A tribe of beastmen occupies the region, and they aren't quick to tolerate a human element in what they imagine to be their territory. They're no concern of mine, so cut down as many as you see fit to complete the mission. Garb yourself in their skins for all I care. Just get my soldiers through. Beasts are more than capable fighters, and they're more than one of our countrymen to shreds during the conquest. Ashe has no love lost for their kind. Earthshakers have a plan to blight the land, starving the Scarlet Corps in their home territory. Offer them any help they need, and see my will done upon the voices of Nerat. We are nearly at the end. I feel the Archon's doom ahead of us like the peace at the end of slaughter. Faybinder Donald, forgive me the curtness of this rushed missive. The matter is too urgent for the luxury of formalities. I know that you braved the flaming ruins of the Vellum Citadel. The archive. Did you find it? Is it safe? Regulus. Ask him for further information. Faybinder Regulus, you seem to possess more than a passing familiarity with the Silent Archive. I thought it was something of a secret. Perhaps an exchange of information is in order. Tell me what you know of it. I can provide you with its current whereabouts. Faybinder Donald. Then Tunon. Fatebinder, you're to report to the Bastard City at once. Be prompt, lest I mistake your tardiness for reluctance. Tunon the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice. Sending confirmation. Archon Tunon, as you request. I'll appear in your court in good time. Fatebinder Donald. Alright. Well, might get in a little bit of trouble for keeping the Silent Archive. But I mean, I can't bring myself to destroy it. I mean, it's not like the best trinket that we've had, but I mean, what it represents.
Can't
not,
do that.
Not comfortable with the idea of destroying knowledge
Can't
like
do
that. I am curious, where am I sitting reputation-wise with the disfavored, and... that's not too bad. How about Graven Ashe? It's getting up there. But it doesn't look like it'll max out, so it doesn't really matter. Because it does seem as though favor and or loyalty is checked before fear. Alright, status report. Donald. Excellent. We wait your return. Tunon the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice. And Regulus. Faybinder Donald. You have me under Mark's blade. I possess only scraps regarding the archive, fragments gleaned from oblique references across a dozen texts. And the sages sought a way to preserve all knowledge they collected, yet have it easily accessible to those they felt worthy of their secrets. I found no reliable references to what solution they eventually settled on, but there certainly exist indications that they implemented something. Several documents intercepted over the years, some as recently as the conquest of the Tears, make reference to the sages bearing their discoveries to the Vellum Citadel, as tributes to be paid to the Silent Archive. The manner in which they wrote of it, I half expect you to tell me that the archive is a living person, some sage volunteer kept alive, or else in a state very like life, through the guild's arts of preservation and healing, their mind forcefully filled to its borders with every stroke of ink set to parchment, compelled through sigils of domination to reveal what they know to those bearing secret signs. Enter the realm of speculation, I fear, for we have exhausted what little evidence I have. Keep me in suspense no longer, Donald. What became of the archive? Faybinder Regulus. Tell him you kept it. Faybinder Regulus. Naturally I saved the archive. Why would I destroy the culmination of centuries of sage learning when it could be turned to better uses? It is an impressive artifact. Perhaps one day I will have to show it to you. Faybinder Donald. Send that to him. I'm probably going to get in a little bit of trouble for that, but we'll see. Did we make any progress on... We did not. Alright, looks like we're going straight to the Bastard City. We'll probably swing by and grab... Kills Shadow before we go here, because they said they're having Beastmen problems. So it makes sense to have a Beastman with me. An uneventful day on the road is interrupted by a loud cry. An old man, dirt-encrusted and wild-eyed, dressed in little more than a tattered rags, emerges from the brush, charging feebly towards you with a sword held high. For apex, his sandals catch a tree root, sending him tumbling into the dirt. His brittle blade strikes the ground first, snapping in two. He clutches his ribs and whispers a low groan, laying on the ground for an uncomfortably long time. His moans give way to rhythmic, heavy breathing, and just as you step forward to determine if the old man has fallen asleep, he picks himself up, wagging the useless blade at you. The day is ours, dogs of Kyros. The man continues to ramble, and it soon becomes clear that he believes himself late for the first battle of Apex. He is correct in a sense. The battle was waged over 2 years ago. Blissfully unaware of his kinsman's failure, he demands your surrender before generously offering to settle for a mere ransom. You disarm him and spare his life. As he continues to shout, you calmly reach out and grab the crossguard of his sword, sliding the weapon out of his loose grip without the old man even noticing. He stops yelling for a moment to catch his breath, only then noticing he's been disarmed. He clutches at rags, hands darting from one pocket to another, as if the weapon had been mistakenly stowed in one of them. His right hand clutches at something solid. With a defiant laugh, he brandishes a half-eaten drumstick. Tired of this distraction, you rush past the man and continue down the path. He swings wildly with the drumstick as you pass, incensed by your defiance. It bounces off your shoulder, strips of meat flying from it, and lands unceremoniously in the mud. You ignore his cries and continue on, content to let the old man tire himself out. Eventually the shouts cease. In its place, you hear the sounds of a confused man ravenously devouring the last morsels of chicken. Oh, that's really good. +2 might, quickness, and vitality. I'm really wondering what all this black mist is underneath the, You don't really see it here. But in the artwork it has like those like black misty tendrils coming up from up here. I wonder what's below this. Yeah, they meet their fates in the pits below the court, but what is that mist? Because it kind of looks like what's coming out of him when he floats around, right? But his power is to proclaim a judgment. So I don't see why this would, like, I think it'd be tailored to the individual, right? It would be like this permanent effect that you see coming out of this. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Either way, gonna call it here. Next episode, we'll read the missive from Rogulis. We'll speak to Rogulis. He's right up here. And then we'll speak to Tunon. And I guess check with the other NPCs that are here as well. Either way, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.